our chapter, good afternoon everyone. Our chapter active passive was going on. We will continue the same chapter and I hope that it will be over today. The chapter will be over today. Fine. So first of all we are just writing the heading of the chapter. So what was going on in the chapter, that we have discussed that how what kind of sentences are called active sentences, what kind of sentences are called passive sentences. Second thing we discussed that how the active sentences are transformed into passive sentences, and we have learned 5 basic rules for them, that how the active sentences are changed into passive sentences. Okay, in that area we have discussed about simple present, past and future. Am I right? Simple present sentences, active sentences, simple past active sentences and simple future active sentences we have already discussed. Have we discussed present continuous and past continuous also or not?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So right now we are discussing that how present continuous active sentences are changed into past passive sentences. Got it? Present continuous sentence. How present continuous active sentences are changed into past passive sentences, that we are going to discuss right now. Fine. First of all, we should focus on the active sentences, that what kind of sentences are called continuous sentences actually. The sentences which contains ing with first form of verb. That kind of sentences are called continuous sentences. And we are talking right now, we are talking about present continuous tense. It means as like I am teaching active passive sentence, active passive voice. Fine. I am teaching active passive voice. This, what tense does it belong to? The sentence that is written on the board, which tense does it belong to, and how can we identify that this sentence belongs to present continuous tense? How can we identify? We should focus on this. Means which helping verb we are using, and if we are using ing or not. Fine. If we are using helping verb, means be ka first form, we are using helping verb from is am are. Then second thing we are using teach plus ing, means the sentence belongs to present continuous tense. When we are using present and ing is the identification of continuous tense. Fine. So again we are going. We have identified, we have discussed that this sentence belongs to present continuous tense. Now this is an active sentence. This is an active sentence, so we are changing it into passive. How do we change it? 5 basic rules again we will discuss. We will follow those 5 basic rules again. First rule was subject and objects are interchanged. Fine. So we have to identify which one is the subject and which one is the object here. If we focus on the sentence, can you please tell me? This one?
My subject.
And active passive voice is object. Fine. I is the subject here. Active passive voice is the object here. Now we will interchange their place and we will bring this active passive voice in the starting. So we are writing active passive voice. Fine. This was the first rule, first basic rule. Now second basic rule, we discussed that we have to use be form. Now we are having present continuous. So which form of verb will be used? First form, second form or third form?
Third form.
First form. First form of be is MR. First form of be will be used. And here we are having present. And this is singular. This is singular. So we will use is, am or are. What will be used with it? Is will be used because it is singular. Now we will focus. The third rule was we were to use third form of verb. Third form of verb. What is the verb here? Teach
Thought.
is the verb here. Teach. Fine.
Thought.
But we are having ing also. We are having ing here. So what we will do? We will just broke this word into two parts. Teaching will be broken into two parts. दो भागों में बांट देंगे हम इसे. ing will be added with be and it will become being. Fine. Then what is remaining? Teach. Third form of teach is taught. Fine. Got it? What do we have to do in ing sentences? The sentences which belongs to continuous tense, we have to cut, we have to break the word into two parts. ing will be added in be and it will become being. Then the remaining verb first form will be changed into third form. And now by preposition and the subject which we are having, it will be changed into object and it will become
Me.
me. Have you got the sentence? Any confusion?
Yes, ma'am.
Any confusion?
No, ma'am.
Very good. Only Chaitanya is learning. One more example we are taking. He is eating his lunch. He is eating his lunch. We are saying. Now, again we will follow those 5 basic rules. First, what do we have to do? We have to choose. We have to identify what is the subject and what is the object. First, we are
Ma'am.
just
Subject.
this is the subject. Fine, and this is the
Object.
And his lunch is object. Fine. This is he is subject and his lunch is object. We will interchange their position because we are following the first basic rule. So we will bring his lunch here. Now, second basic rule. We have to follow be form. And here we are having is, mr plus ing. It means this is again present continuous tense. Fine. His lunch is a singular unit or plural?
Singular.
Singular. So we will use is. Fine. Now this
Then
word
being.
eating will be cut into, eating will be broken into two pieces. ing will be added into being and
Ma'am, eaten.
Eat first. What is the third form of eat?
Eaten.
Eaten. Then next basic rule, that is by.
By.
Preposition. And because we are having
Him.
he, when it becomes object, then it becomes
Him.
him. Have you got it? Any confusion?
Yes, ma'am.
Is there any confusion?
No, ma'am.
No. We are moving to the next tense. That is past continuous. Past continuous tense. We are learning about past continuous tense. Same means continuous as it is written. Continuous means ing will be added. Ing will be used in this kind of sentence. And past, as it is past, so we will use was and were as helping verb. Fine. In present continuous we use is mr plus action ing. In past continuous we use was were plus action ing. So here we are taking an example from past continuous tense, as like he was just a minute. He was teaching his brother. This is the sentence of past continuous. Why? How
Yes,
can
ma'am.
we identify that this is the sentence of past
And I
continuous?
do
Because
were
we
it
are using,
was.
yes, we are using was were or we are using ing. So this is
ING.
the identification that it is the sentence of a past continuous tense. Now again, it is an active sentence, so we are transforming it into passive sentence. Fine, we are transforming into passive sentences. And first of all, what do we have to do? What do we have to do first?
Ma'am.
First basic rule we have to follow. So we have to
Yes, ma'am.
identify what is the subject and what is the object here. He is the subject. What is the object?
Yes, ma'am.
What is the
Ma'am, his
object?
brother.
His brother is the object. Fine. We are interchanging their condition, interchanging their place. So we are bringing his brother in the starting. His brother. Fine. Now we are having was plus action ing. Was plus action ing. Now we will concentrate. This is singular or plural? His brother is singular
Ma'am,
or plural?
singular.
Is it plural?
Singular.
Singular. It is singular. That's why we will use was or were.
Was.
Was. Fine. Again, we are having ing word.
Ma'am.
So it will be broken
Being.
into two parts again. ing will be added
Being.
into be. It will become being. Teach
Taught.
will become
Third form.
third form
Third
and it
form.
will become
Taught.
taught. His brother
By
was
him.
being taught by
By
preposition and
him.
he will become
Him.
him because he is used as a subject and him is used as an object. So is it clear to you people? Any doubt related
Yes,
to
ma'am.
past continuous? Are you getting the chapter very well?
Yes, ma'am.
We are moving to the next tense. That is one more thing. Future continuous tenses, active sentences cannot be changed into passive sentences. That is a rule according to the grammar, according to English grammar. That future continuous active sentences cannot be changed into passive sentences. Fine. So directly we are moving to present perfect. Are you getting my point?
Okay, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Now we are going to learn about present perfect tenses, present perfect sentences. See, we are taking an example again. We are taking an example of present perfect tense. Fine. And like I have written, I have taken my lunch. Fine. Is this an example of past perfect, present perfect or not? What is the
Yes, ma'am.
identification of present perfect tense? What is the identification? I am asking you people. What is the identification of present perfect tense? Has a plus action third form.
Yes,
In
ma'am.
perfect sentences, in perfect tense we use, in present perfect tense we use has, have, has or have. Whether we will use has, whether we will use have. Plus third form will be used. Verbs third form is always used with has or have. Fine. So right now this is the identification of present perfect and the sentence that is written on the board that belongs to present perfect. So again we are moving to those 5 basic rules. First we have to understand, first we have to select or identify our subject and object. Fine. So this is the subject
My
and
my lunch is object.
yes, my lunch is object. Fine. So we are interchanging their position and we are bringing my lunch in the
My
starting.
lunch.
My lunch. Now when we are having has have sentences, then it is changed into has been or have been. Fine. When we are having perfect sentences are always changed into has been or have been. It is a singular thing. My lunch. Lunch is a single unit. Whether we are taking so many things in that. We can take rice, we can take curry, we can take salad, we can take curd. whatever we are chapati, fine. But complete unit is called lunch. So it will be called a single unit, and we will use singular verb with it. What is singular verb in present perfect? Has.
Has.
Have is always used for plural. Fine. My lunch has. And what I told you before, that has, have is changed into has
Been.
been or have been. So that's why
Has
we are
been.
using been. Fine. This was the first rule, and second rule means we are using is a be form. Fine. Now third rule was verb third form, and we are already using third form here. So taken will be taken only.
By me.
Taken will not be changed into any other word, because हैजव के साथ हम वैसे भी थर्ड फॉर्म ही यूज करते हैं, ऑलरेडी थर्ड फॉर्म लगा हुआ है, तो हम we will not change that. We will not change any verb in that. Fine. Now fourth rule was by, and I is
Me.
changed into me.
Me.
Is it clear to you people?
Yes,
Hanji?
ma'am.
Any doubt? Should we
No,
move to
ma'am.
another one? Next is past perfect. We are taking an example of that also. Fine. He had completed, we will change this. They had completed their project. How can we identify that this is the example of past perfect? How can we identify?
Ma'am is helping verb
Because
is had.
yes, had plus third form we are using.
All verb.
Yes. As a helping verb in past perfect tense, we use had plus third form. Fine. So we can identify that this is the sentence of past perfect, and this is the sentence of active voice. So we are changing it into passive voice again, and again those 5 basic rules. We have to follow those
Yes,
5
ma'am.
basic rules. Then first thing what we have to do, we have to identify the subject and object. In this sentence we are having they is the subject, and what is the object? Their project. Their project. So we are interchanging their position, and we are bringing their project in the starting. Their project. Fine. Again we are having had plus third form. Has, have was changed into has, have been. Had will be changed into had been. Fine. So we are using had been. Got it?
Had been.
Had been. Now
Been.
already we are using third form. This was the first rule, first basic rule. This was the second basic rule, means be form we have used. Now we are moving to the third basic rule, that is verbs third form we have to use. And already we are using third form. So no change. We will just use completed. Fourth basic rule, by preposition. We are using by preposition. Fine. And they, when it becomes object,
By
then it becomes
them.
them. Any doubt related to past perfect tense?
No, ma'am.
Hanji, no doubt. So should we move ahead?
No, ma'am.
Should we move ahead to the next
Yes,
one?
ma'am.
We are moving to future perfect. We are moving to future perfect tense, and first we are writing an example related to future perfect tense. See, my mother will have cooked pav bhaji. Fine. My mother will have cooked pav bhaji. This is the sentence of future perfect tense. How can we identify? First we are discussing that because in future perfect tense we use will have plus third form. Fine. Will plus have plus third form. That is the identification of future perfect tense. And here we are identify that will have third form already is used in the sentence. So it means that is the sentence of future perfect tense. Now, again those 5 basic rules we have to follow to change it into passive voice. Fine. So, first thing we have to identify what is the subject and what is the object. What is the subject here? My mother.
My mother.
My mother is the subject and pav bhaji is the object. We are interchanging
Object.
their place. We are interchanging their position.
Yes, ma'am.
So we will bring pav bhaji in the starting. Then what do we have to do? Yes, we have to use be form. Will change into will have been. As we were changing has have been. Has have will change into has have been. Had will change into had been. Will change into will have been. So this is the second rule. Fine. Now third rule.
Yes, sir.
Third rule. Verbs third form we have to use. Fine.
Cooked.
Already this is the third form. Cooks. Cook third form is cooked already. We are using already third form. So we will use cooked only. Fourth basic
By.
rule. By preposition. And my
My
mother
mother.
will be changed into object. Then it will remain the same. My mother. This is the sentence which how future perfect tense is changed into passive sentence. So this was all about today's class. The remaining type of sentences will be discussed tomorrow. Fine, because the time is over. Fine. Bye bye all of you.
Okay, ma'am.